Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Liz and Laryssa, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 21. In this episode, Liz and I will be talking about some conversion boosting strategies for your e-commerce website. More specifically, what to do about abandoned carts, why average order value or AOV matters and how to increase it, and why returning users matter and how to get your shoppers to come back. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join for only $20 a month, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic that we discuss. In this version, in the extended version of this episode, we'll explain how you can access all this data in your Google Analytics. So if you're wondering how you can actually see where you are, then you need to sign up for the extended episode. To get access to that content, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com.
Hey Laryssa, this topic is so you. You're very excited about it.
I love this topic because I think that the things that I'm going to be talking about are really overlooked for small and medium-sized e-commerce businesses who are so focused on always getting new traffic to their website in an effort to get eyeballs on their products and increase their sales. But actually focusing on these three things, they're kind of like levers you can pull in your business to make small changes that could have a big impact on your revenue this year.
I love that because new is not always better. Like the idea that you need more Instagram followers to make your sale, really focusing on who's already looking at your website, who's already adding things to their carts, who's already there is actually a really smart way to think about things.
Yeah, so let's talk about abandoned carts first. I know Liz and I have a hobby of abandoning
It's one of my favorite hobbies, really.
Often.
I do it all the time. You know, just shopping, seeing kind of what the total is of what I want to purchase and seeing how much discount I get from using discount codes and whatever's happening for that brand right now. And then leaving. And then just
clicking
leaving.
The X. Yeah. So this is really a low-hanging fruit because even though the majority of people who abandon their carts will leave, there's still a way to re-engage them. And even if they don't make that purchase right now, focusing on keeping them engaged, especially with email, can help them be customers in the future, perhaps. So I think it's important to know the reasons why people abandon carts, because you can like diagnose these things and see if, oh, does my website have something like this? Is this potentially a reason why someone would be leaving? Someone got distracted. Okay, that probably has nothing to do with your website, but it's a reason why abandoned cart emails are really important, which we'll talk about in just a second. Maybe there was a discount code they wanted or thought they could get, but they can't find it, or it's not working, or it doesn't apply to the specific merchandise, or it's not a big enough discount. They don't like your return or shipping policies. Maybe the checkout is too complicated or confusing. Maybe your shipping fees are really high, or it's like some kind of international shipping, or it's like a long production time that they weren't expecting, or longer than expected shipping time, or maybe they're a brand or you're a brand they don't know very well, and there's a small concern about like trust. Am I actually going to get this product? Do I feel comfortable putting my credit card information?
Yeah, another one would be like, you know, like I said, I like to put things in my cart and see what the total would be and see like kind of what discount codes I have. Sometimes I end up not purchasing because I'm not quite ready to spend that amount to treat myself. But when I am ready to treat myself, I'll come back and do it. So sometimes that's one of the reasons that people X out also, at least for me. And then, even though I do X out of it, I'm still thinking about those products usually.
Absolutely. And to Liz's point, that's why it's so important to have like a clear email sign up, a pop up, and in the footer on your website, because they'll probably be looking for a discount code. And even if you don't offer one, they might try to sign up to see if they'll get one anyway. And you want those signups so you can cater to a customer like Liz who might shop later, weeks, months later, but they'll remember you.
Yes. And so in the fashion and luxury industry, the average abandoned cart rate is 88%, which is not surprising because, I'm sure a lot of you listening are nodding your heads like, yes, I love putting things in carts too. And I think that, a lot of people are shopping or thinking about things or really like a product but aren't quite ready to invest in it yet.
Yeah, abandoned cart rates in general are really high. When I look at Google Analytics for different clients or when I'm doing audits, the kind of average that I see with jewelry is around 75, like somewhere in the 70s. And that's very normal. If yours is a lot higher than that, then I would really look into addressing some of the things I just talked about. Like maybe your checkout is confusing, or your shipping policy is off, or your return policy is confusing. Look at all of those possibilities. If your abandoned cart rate is really low, that's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, but make sure you're keeping an eye on it, because that can quickly change, especially as you grow your business, as more people learn about you and come to your website. That will very quickly change.
And so the best way to encourage people to, after they've abandoned their cart, come back is the abandoned cart email. Laryssa, can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so abandoned cart email gets triggered after someone abandons their cart. The time frame is different, like different brands set different time triggers, but it's usually pretty soon after. And it just kind of like taps you on the shoulder and is like, hey, you forgot this in your cart. Do you still want to purchase it? Sometimes there will be an incentive to complete the purchase, like a discount code. Oftentimes, the abandoned cart emails will repeat the customer service information in case the person has questions about finishing the purchase. But they're so important because they serve as reminders, especially if the reason someone abandoned the cart was because they got distracted or forgot, which happens to me a lot. Actually, things I am actually intending to buy, I'll just like forget to finish the purchase. Or maybe I like need to go get my credit card or something. So they can be really helpful, and you have to think of them as a service because they actually could help someone who did want to buy your product. So it's sales as a service.
And this is why, when you're thinking about how to achieve these abandoned cart emails because of privacy issues and things like that, a lot of times you need to have website visitors sign in. And so that's, a benefit of encouraging people to sign up to create a wish list or to create an account or create an insiders program where people are like have accounts within your website. That's always a really great thing to do because then it's so much easier to get these abandoned cart emails to them.
Yes, absolutely. Logistically, you need to have the person's website. Otherwise, like, where is it going to send to? So that's really important. The next thing I want to talk about is average order value, or AOV.
Average order value, or AOV, is how much somebody spends per order. So, maybe they're purchasing that $50 pair of stud earrings, and you're noticing that people are buying the lower end of your product offering, then that's a sign that maybe you're reaching the wrong client. So AOV means the average order value. How much is somebody spending per order, and what is the average? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think especially in the jewelry industry, for me, it's one of the most important e-commerce metrics because pricing plays such a role in like consumers feeling comfortable buying a piece of jewelry, especially fine jewelry as well. So like being tapped into your average order value, comparing it to your average price point. So let's say the average price of the jewelry you sell is $1,000, but like Liz said, you're selling like some $50 studs that are on the low end. Like that's a huge problem. It can mean a number of things. You're reaching the wrong customer, your pricing strategy is off, you're not merchandising your website to like push forward those more mid-range things. You're not showcasing your mid-range products in your marketing. Like it could be a symptom of a lot of different issues, but it's important to know that so you can make changes or adjustments to help you understand what's going on.
Honestly, like before we started doing this episode, I didn't think much about AOV in terms of fine jewelry because I'm so used to it being that like one special purchase, not, when I've thought about AOV in the past, it's, how can I keep adding on to this purchase? Like how can I have somebody buy, 10 items versus the 5 that they were thinking about, just coming from like a more like clothing retail background. But in fine jewelry, I always thought, push the price point, think about how you can nurture somebody to spend more on a specific piece, but how do you do that on a website? So Laryssa has some great kind of thoughts and tips around this and how important it is to think about for your business.
Yeah, that's a really interesting observation, Liz, that these more like special purchases, you're probably just buying this one thing. But there is the opportunity to upsell or cross-sell products, especially if you know that your customers are buying a lot of gifts through you. As a service, there are apps in Shopify that can kind of recommend, you should add on this piece because it will kind of like complete the look. Or, this person will really want to have this diamond cleaning like solution to like keep their jewelry sparkly. So like buy this $15 thing, which may seem really insignificant and small. But think about $15 spread out across like 1,000 orders. That starts to add up and can add like a significant amount of revenue to your store. Also, you could potentially have, I just thought of like Macy's and how, I don't know if they do this anymore, but I used to work at Macy's, and in the jewelry department, they would have these like special like super buys. So like if you bought, I don't know, $1,500 in jewelry, they could be like, and you can also get these gold stud earrings for like $24.99, which is for a lot of customers seems like a no-brainer. You're like, okay, I can like gift this to someone for Christmas, or like if I need like a backup gift, this is an easy thing. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's a really small, insignificant amount. But if you're doing volume in your store and you have a lot of these like upsells, it can add up to a lot of money. So it's something to think about. It doesn't have to be like a cheapy thing, like I just mentioned that Macy's example, but maybe you can get creative with like the kind of upsells that you do.
I feel like I've seen this before, like, buy a pair for you and get a pair for your friend too. And like that kind of pushing of upselling too. And I think you can do it in a really luxury way. This, a lot of designers I work with are thinking about how can they increase their average price point? How can they move from silver to gold, or, from demi-fine jewelry to more fine jewelry? And, thinking about it in terms of like what your average order is now and how you can kind of keep increasing that by how you're promoting it in your marketing, by what incentives you're offering. Maybe it's a free gift with purchase if you spend X amount, or maybe it's a free shipping if you spend X amount. Thinking about those things, thinking about what you're promoting too on your website, on your homepage, in your marketing, your email marketing, your Instagram, all of that is really important to be thinking about.
Yeah, and being aware of this too, to piggyback on what you're saying, it can really help you make strategic decisions around those things. So like, I don't know, gift with purchase. Okay, I heard that this is like a good promo to do, so like I guess I should do it. But if you knew, okay, my average order value is kind of on the low end, so I'm actually going to use the like buy more, spend more kind of strategy to try to increase my average order value. And then you can use that to know how to like set your numbers, like how to do the promotion, rather than just kind of like guessing at the marketing that you're doing. And with the free shipping as well, if you want your average order value to be like $250, then maybe that's the free shipping threshold that you set to encourage people to buy like more than one piece that they wouldn't have bought otherwise.
I never thought I'd be thinking about AOV so much, but now I am.
So the last like lever that I love to pull and look at is returning users to your website and also returning customers in general. I think we've said this before. It is cheaper to market to your existing customers than it is to constantly be churning and like acquiring new customers. That can be really costly. So, being able to understand what percentage of the people coming to your e-commerce site are returning, and making sure a lot of them are coming from email so that you're regularly engaging them with email campaigns, keeping the website fresh and interesting, giving them reasons to come back again and again, will make them more likely to purchase at some point, even if it's not today.
Everyone, we're recording this in the first week of 2023, and I'd love everyone listening to create a goal for themselves of growing their email list, even if it's only by a handful of emails per month, and get really committed to sending out emails regularly, no matter the size of your list. Get used to being in touch with your customers on your email list regularly, every month, twice a month. Just get into it.
That's an awesome goal. I fully endorse it. Let us know how you're doing with that, and like if you need support, how we can help you stay on track with that goal. I would also love to know at this point, like, what are your e-commerce goals for the year? Have you ever taken steps to optimize for these things on your website? You can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode as well as exclusive content. Thanks for listening or watching.